Hello everyone and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Medium on the Xbox Series S. Now, this game has been out for a long time and I've never really got a chance to play this game. And in fact, it was one of the first true next gen titles, you could say, that came out on the Xbox, both on the Series X and on the Series S. Now, excuse me. All right, to begin with, you get a few options. I was trying to find out, if they did have any options when it comes to the graphics. Now, unfortunately, there are no graphical options. There are a few options when it comes to the gameplay. You can choose their subtitles, etc. But apart from that, no graphical options apart from your brightness levels on the game. So that's pretty much it. There's nothing else that you can do when it comes to the graphics or the display or the video on the game. So, yeah. Now this game is pretty cinematic, so I don't really think that you need the 60 FPS for a game like this. Now, it's a very slow burn kind of a horror game, and yeah, load times are
It all
hardly
starts
there.
with a
It's the
dead
Series
girl.
S. I've spoken about, how good the load times are on the Series S. It begins with this cinematic sequence, and there are a lot of cutscenes. So just buckle up and be prepared to see a lot of cutscenes. This game is is more like a movie clubbed with a game than a game which has cutscenes. At least the first 1.5 hours that I've played on this game, that's what I felt. They're trying to tell a story, and they do justice to that storytelling by weaving these cutscenes into the game. They're beautiful. In no way do they actually take away from the game experience, but they actually add a layer of storytelling, and you will appreciate that, because like I said at the start of the video, it's a slow burn kind of a horror game. So it's not one of those horror games, where you're shooting, where there are scares. So don't expect jump scares or anything, from this particular game. Although, there's that horror
Ever since
element.
I was little,
The
I've had this
graphics are simply brilliant.
dream.
What is specially to note in
It's
this
the
game
end of summer.
is the lighting.
A girl is
Now,
running
they
through
have
the
really
woods.
done a very good job with the
Moon,
lighting
the
on the game.
scent
So the
of
lighting rig
pines.
is excellent.
And
It's
then
just mind blowing. And we'll see further
the
down as to
gunshot.
why I'm raving about the lighting so much. And this game is very atmospheric when it comes to the levels, and the lighting plays that crucial role in adding more depth to that level.
It always felt so real.
Now the character is well
Blood
designed
on
as
my
well, by the way.
cheek,
So in terms of the
cold
character
sweat
design,
running
I
down
quite
my
like
skin.
this main character.
I'd managed to convince myself
and,
it really happened. This
I
scar.
would say, they could have done a better job with your lip syncing, but the voice acting is
Part of me
spot
I
on.
could never
And the character design is also very, very good.
well,
And as you can see, the quality of
that wasn't
graphics,
the only part.
they are phenomenal. You would not be disappointed. So this definitely feels like a current gen,
No
you
wonder
could say,
people used to think I
title
was
on the
strange.
Series S. And yeah, it's really good.
If they only knew.
So here we start off with the protagonist, who is this girl called Marianne. And she starts this journey by, just narrating. So there's a voiceover done by her in the game. But look at that level of, ray tracing in the game. I mean, it looks incredible. It's,
to my father.
I mean, quite something to watch
Dress him up for
this
his journey.
level of graphics on the Series S. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Every time I take a look at a graphical piece like this, I'm simply blown away with how the Xbox Series S actually performs. And just look at those reflections on the water. It is mind-blowing. It just takes that whole experience to a new level. And that's why I love my Series S. I mean, it's such a great device. And again, it's a slow burn game, and I keep saying that because I want you to hold on. This game does have a very slow start, but once it picks up, you
I
would
was
appreciate
almost
it.
ready.
I think,
I
the
just had to
first
find
30
his
minutes or
special
so,
tie clip.
I was struggling, to kind of play through it because I am quite used to, playing fast moving games like third person action RPGs or third person, hack and slash games. So this to me was a completely different experience. Now, of course, I make these videos so that I experience different types of games and I bring these videos for you lovely folks so that you can also see whether or not you should actually buy this because, hey, this just came out on the PlayStation as well. So, it's not on the Game Pass like it is on the Xbox. So it's not a free game. You will have to actually purchase this game. So through this video, hopefully you'll be able to make an informed decision whether or not you should get this game. So like they say, to buy or not to buy. Hopefully this video will help you make that decision.
Shit. Yeah. Nice to see you.
Every single thing on the screen is superbly detailed, from the carpet to the paneled walls to even that piece of, clothing, the jacket, which is hanging, and the lighting. Let me tell you, I am such a big fan of the lighting on this game, and we will see in a short while as to why. Okay. I was kind of confused because, like I said, I'm not used to playing these type of games, so I was kind of confused as to what needs to be done. Now, this in some way reminds me of that game, Being Human, Detroit, or rather Detroit Being Human, and it's kind of like that. So they're fixed camera angles. The camera does not follow the character, and you cannot pan the camera. So it's just this, you could say, this confined space in one zone. So you move from one zone to the other zone. And like I said, it's a fixed camera angle. So as you can see, no panning of the camera. Now, to me, it was getting used to, this type of game. And again, I personally play a lot of third person games, not even first person actually. But you take a look at, the lighting here as well. How the lighting is baked here. It's beautiful. I mean, it does feel like those photography rooms where you develop those old school films and you create a photograph, and it does feel like that. Now, although this recording is in 1080p, I was actually playing this on a 4K television. So my 4K television, the Samsung AU9070, was also upscaling it, so it looked sharp. Now, as far as what resolution does it play on? Well, it kind of has a dynamic resolution on the Xbox Series X, not the S. All right, on the Xbox Series S, it plays at almost around full 4K with 1440p that it dips to. But on the Series S, it plays at 1080p, and it dips to maybe 900p when it comes to this particular mode. But if you have seen trailers of this game, then you know that in this game, there's also the split screen kind of a gameplay that you will experience. Now, in those cases, on the Xbox Series S, the graphics can go down to as low as maybe 700p when it splits. Right now, we have not come to that stage yet, but we will come to it shortly. But again, I just want to
the tie clip.
Talk about how good this game looks. Look at that carpet. Look at that phone in the foreground. And look at the light coming from the door. It is absolutely brilliant. Even the light in the bathroom. It is superb. I think this is one of those games where I've really enjoyed looking at how the developers have actually worked with the lighting. It's very precise. So I just love it. Simply love it. So, like I said, I kind of struggled in this game in the beginning. And as you can see, you can't even run at this stage. It's a slow burn kind of a game, and you have to uncover things. You have to search for things. You have to look around, everywhere in the room. So even though the camera does not pan around and it's kind of a fixed angle, you still have to look around in the room. If you're in this room, for instance, I looked around and I could take a look at this picture. So yeah, so the first 30 minutes or so, you can say, oh, if you can push yourself through the first 30 minutes, then you will enjoy this game.
Jack
And the
was
reason why you will
part of the
enjoy this game
Solidarity
is
movement.
because there are a lot
He
of
spent a few
puzzle
months in
elements,
an internment camp, but even that couldn't dampen
beautifully
his
done,
spirit.
by the way, where you will have to toggle between the real world and this, you could say, this alternate reality or this other parallel universe. So
Come
you're
on,
toggling
Jack,
between
where'd
the
you
two
put it?
universes and you're solving puzzles.
Okay.
So
Let's
it's
do
it's a
this
good
the other
experience. We'll get to there. I mean that stage, but I didn't really want to spoil too much. I'm gonna skip this game further down the line, because otherwise, it'd be too lengthy, and there would almost be no action whatsoever, or I won't be able to show you those two different universes that I was actually talking about. So, like I said, you have to uncover things,
Keep
and
hissing at me.
as you can see,
Who do
again,
you
that
think's gonna
lighting.
beat
Look
you
at that,
now?
that you could see those god rays, kind of, slightly god rays, coming through that window, very light god rays, and it is brilliant. I mean, look at the lighting
Back in
here
my
as well.
old room.
The lighting from the window,
So many memories.
the lighting in the room,
Yeah.
that lamp, and
I
even
used
here.
to have a thing
Oh
for
man,
him.
this is a beautiful
Don't know
game.
why, really.
Very atmospheric,
I guess
and the
Jack
lighting
knew it
adds
well.
to it.
That's why there's so many of them here.
Even the reflection on the floor, the tiles, I don't know if you could see that, and now the reflection
Kids
on the
from
table.
The orphanage.
Brilliant,
Not all of them had
brilliant
my luck.
graphics, absolutely
That's why I kept
mind-blowing.
coming
Every
back.
single detail
To play.
they have actually worked on
to
really
take
well.
care of them.
From the
to
light,
listen.
and from the lighting,
the
comes the
least I could
shadows
do.
as well. So even if you take a look at the shadows, the shadow of this frame, the shadow of the lamp on the table, it's simply outstanding. I was blown
I used
away,
to get a
when
lot
I
of these.
saw this game, and
To me, they were like
to
trophies.
me,
Badges of honor for
because I was
doing
playing
the
it
right
on the
thing.
Series S, I was not even
Jack
playing it on the
wasn't
Series
too
X.
amused, but he did his best to cover for me.
Again, I was blown
I
away
kind of feel bad for
by
making
the
him go through all
graphic
that.
fidelity of this particular game, and it's a beautiful looking game. It's gorgeous.
My
In fact,
oldest
in some
family
areas the
heirloom.
lighting makes
As a
this
kid,
game
I'd
shine.
show this to people just to
And
freak 'em
I
out.
hate to sound like an
I'd
old
usually
broken
say something
record,
like,
but that's how good the
"Pretty
lighting
sick,
is.
huh?"
And I think once
such
you
a
play
dork.
this, you will also appreciate that. And if you feel that I've overdone my talking bit on the lighting, then drop me a comment. I would appreciate that. I always welcome constructive feedback. So I don't know if you're noticing subtle shadows, as the characters are, as the character, not character, as the characters, I'm saying, what's gotten into me, as the character moves across the screen. So yeah, there are a lot of information that you'll actually have to soak in. But that's what this game is about. It's about exploration. It's about exploring your surrounding. It's about finding out if there's something hidden, on the screen. I did take some time because, again, like I said, I'm not used to these type of games, but I think I managed pretty much
We lived
okay.
upstairs
Oh man,
from
I just
Jack's
wanted to
funeral
comment
home.
on this particular area.
It wasn't as
Look
weird as
at
it
that
sounds.
lighting again.
Besides, if
The
it wasn't
reflection
for
on
that,
the
I may never
walls,
have learned to use my powers.
beautiful. The tiles, the way the lighting hits the walls and the tiles, mind blowing. That's why I took my time here, just to appreciate that. And even the shadows, look at those shadows. In some parts of the game, this game looks stunning. Overall also it's a great looking game. I don't mean to say that it's ugly in parts. It's a very beautiful game overall, but in some areas it really shines. It kind of, especially when it comes to the lighting. But like I said, so far, so slow. And it is slow, guys. The first 30 minutes is slow.
Jack taught me to
In this
accept
scene, look
my
at the information in the
conditions.
foreground, those blurred
all
out
my
leaves.
foster parents. He was the only one who
Beautiful.
saw it as a gift.
I'm just
and
trying
not
to
a
see,
curse.
I was just trying to find out if I can actually do something here. Wow. But hey, it's gorgeous. Look at the reflection in the water. I don't know if you noticed that. but a lot of detailing has gone into this game. It's simply superb. Now, as far as the frame rate goes, the frame rate is a steady 30 frames per second on the Series S. And for a game like this, you don't really need 60 frames per second. It's a game which actually tells a story. It's got a very slow storytelling element. So you don't need 60 frames per second on a game like this. Again, look at the water, the reflection on the water. Beautiful. Last goodbye. All right. So the protagonist has just lost a father figure in her life and
Yeah. Who doesn't?
need to get out. Yes, you do need to get out. Excuse me. Again, I just want to soak in and enjoy this particular area. And there are a lot of, you could say, hallways and corridors in this game. So you would see, these
Jackson
corridors many times over in the game. And each corridor that you come across, they're beautifully designed. Again, like I was saying, I love the detailing, love the paneled walls, love the door designs. Take a look at, those door knobs or door handles as well. Everything has such a lot of detailing in there. And it's a smooth 30 frames per second.
Weird.
No frame drops
I
yet.
don't remember
Although I
locking it.
did experience, some frame drops, maybe a
Key should
couple
be
of
in the office.
times later down the line. But so far, outstanding performance by the Series S. Now, this particular tree in the background, it kind of reminds me of the Tree of Life. It also reminds me of the story from Asgard, the tree. What's that called?
Here it is.
Yggdrasil or something? Let me know in the comment section. I don't know. What's it called? Just like the hammer, Mjolnir. Wow. So the tree which connects the 9 realms. So it kind of reminds me of that. Again, some information, which is there. And the reason, why I haven't, really skipped through a lot in this game is because I want you to enjoy this game. Now, I do understand that this is very slow so far, but like I said, you'll appreciate the puzzle elements in the game, especially when you move a little further down the road. And again, the tiles, look at the lighting on the tiles, look at the lighting, the reflections on the glass. Beautiful, isn't it? So you keep collecting items that you can actually use. And in this case, you will come across keys, screwdrivers, things that you can cut other things. So interesting. Very cinematic. It almost, again, that lighting, look at the lighting in the background. It almost feels like a horror movie scene. Excuse me. I'm having a bit of an thing here with my throat, but I hope you excuse me. I apologize for it. But
Not sure if I'm ready for this.
I mean, look at it. Look at the way the light is baked into this level. Simply brilliant, isn't it? I like what they have done with the foreground and the blur. As you can see, the items in the foreground, they're blurred.
Hey, Jack.
So here she's just come across the body of the father figure that I was talking about. Excuse me again, sorry. So I'm just going to skip this part. I'm going to move ahead because I do want
Got
to
your special
speak
thing.
about a few elements that I found
Sure.
very beautiful in the game. You get the title after some time. And by the way, speaking about the title, it also reminded me about the size of the game. Now, the game is not very big, it's only 22.9 gigabytes on your Xbox Series S. So it might be more on the Xbox Series X because the Series S works with, you could say, different textures. So yeah, this scene was really very cinematic. You know, it kind of reminds me of
And off I went.
a lot of those
On nothing but a
Hollywood
hunch.
shots.
A call from a complete stranger. But I'd learned to trust
Even
my
this shot,
instincts.
very cinematic.
And there was something about this guy, his voice. Felt like I should know him. Either way,
Brilliant.
he sure seemed to know me.
And even as the camera pans out, look at this shot, excuse me. It's just like a movie, you know. Wow. That's when I actually, you know, kind of noticed a frame drop. I don't know if you noticed that as well or not, but I did notice some frame drops here. But while playing the game, I did not experience any frame drops. Now, I was playing this game with my VRR turned off. So maybe, you know, if I would have turned it on my Xbox Series S, maybe that could have helped.
The Neva Workers Resort.
You know what's
Right off the
extraordinary
bat,
about this
I
game
could feel there was
is
something
the
off
fact that
about that place.
you don't have a lot of characters on screen. The only character that is on the screen is the protagonist. And for most parts of the game, you're the only character on screen.
Anyone
So,
home?
for the game
I guess not.
to still have you kind of get involved with the character, still play the game without, you know, I mean, NPCs or, you know, population in the game. It is extraordinary. I mean, for it to be able to capture your attention and kind of keep your attention in the game, I appreciate that. Again, you know, I mean, look at the lighting. Oh man. Look at the way this game looks. The level design is
What the?
stunning.
Hello? Thomas?
Now, this is the part where the game actually starts getting interesting.
Front gate was locked up tight. I needed to find another way in.
So I believe if you can make your way to this area or this part of the game, from here on in, you will enjoy your gaming experience on this game. Because prior to this, I personally felt like it was very slow. But once I got here, I think the game picks up really well, and the pacing of the game changes.
You want to keep me out, Neva?
It's still a slow game. It's not like, you know, I mean, things are going to drastically change. But
They're gonna have to do better than that.
you can say the pacing improves a little bit.
Not a whole lot of people knew about Neva. It used to be a government.
And look at the environment here, you know, the background,
Until
the
one
trees,
day it just
the leaves on
stopped.
the ground,
And so an urban legend was
the
born.
twigs, etc.
The Neva Massacre.
Beautiful.
The details were always fuzzy.
This is a
Crazed
gorgeous game,
workers,
guys.
Ancient curses.
And it has a very filmic kind of you could say a tone to it. As you can see, the character does not even run very fast. It's kind of just jogging around. But everything looks brilliant. The water reflection. Whenever you see reflection on screen, do take note of that and see how beautiful it looks. The foliage, and look at the background, the trees in the background. They've used a little bit of mist or fog, you could say, in the background as well. And man, it's just so good. Again, no panning of the camera, a linear trajectory. So you just keep following some footsteps that you'd be able to see in the game. But again, that use of the blur, foreground, background, beautiful. And I do want you to, play this game, guys. I would recommend this game. It's quite engaging once you get to the puzzle elements.
Hello.
Very engaging, in fact, I should say. Once I got to a certain level and a certain place in the game, I did not want to turn it off. I wanted to keep on playing. That's how good the puzzle elements are. And again, everything looks brilliant. Look at those stones. This feels and looks like a movie. Very cinematic. It's like somebody slapped a cinematic filter on the game. It's a beautiful looking game.
What's this?
And there's a reason why I haven't shown you a lot. I've kind of showed you, the first, you could say almost an hour. I've compressed that and put it into 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes, you could say. Come back. You gotta go there. All right, anytime you're lost, simply you just press LB on the Xbox Series S, and then you'd get to see some footprints or some signs on the trees. So it kind of tells you that, hey, you're on the right track. Keep going. Not this way, the other way. Yeah, you see those footprints? So if you get lost, simply follow the footprints. As simple as that.
Looks like an old fort. Might be my way.
Again, it's incredible that just with one character on screen, it still captures your attention. It still keeps you engaged. And the reason why I'm saying, there could be other games like this where there's only one character on screen, but the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm so used to playing these third-person RPGs, especially like Assassin's Creed, or even third-person action games like Uncharted or God of War, that I'm used to seeing characters on screen. So for me, this felt very lonely. Look at that lighting. Oh, brilliant. Beautiful. And this is the two worlds that I was actually talking about. So now the screen splits. So on the Xbox Series S, there are times where your graphics could actually fall down to 700p. Yes, but let me tell you that it does not feel like it's 700p. Even though it does drop down to 700p sometimes, it still looks solid. And if you're playing this on a 4K television, I think you don't need to be worried about how good or bad this game would look, because from my experience, I can tell you for sure that it looks superb.
Like everything else.
Even with this dynamic resolution, and even when the screen splits, even when the graphic resolution drops to maybe 700p because it's dynamic, you could say graphics or dynamic resolution that we are playing with on the Xbox Series X and S. Now, if you're seeing this, then you can very well understand what I mean. And this is the element that I'm talking about, the puzzle element. So you have to switch between the two worlds, and this is what you will enjoy. So I will recommend this game simply because of the puzzle element of this game. It's brilliant, and I would highly recommend that you do check the Medium out. It deserves your attention and it deserves your love. Play it on an Xbox Series X or S. It's even come out on the PlayStation, by the way. So if you want to get it on the PlayStation, if you have that question, is it worth your money? I think it's worth your money. If you're into these kind of games, that is.
Light can linger.
Well, I think we'll call it quits for this video here tonight. And let me know in the comment section as to what you feel about this game. Now, I did not show you other elements of the gameplay simply because of the fact that I didn't want this video to be too spoilery. I want you to experience this game.
Or maybe just
it's available on the Game Pass on your Xbox, so you don't even have to pay anything extra apart from your Game Pass subscription fee. But if you want to play it on the PlayStation, then of course, you will have to shell out some dollars for it. And I think it's worth your money. If you're looking to purchase this, you might even want to wait out and maybe purchase this during a discount or something, because PlayStation, they keep having these discounts and they're quite good. So this was the puzzle element that I was talking about, back and forth. And now
energy's energy.
You kind of come back and you solve something in one world, it gets solved in the other world as well. So that's the beauty.
Oh, so that works.
See, so that
good for you,
made the gate open.
Anyways,
guys, we've come to the end of this video. Do like and subscribe, and do share it with your friends and family members if you think that this is the kind of videos that you would like. And this is me signing off. Hit that bell icon as well in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. And that's a wrap for this one, folks. I'll see you again in the next one. Until then, I'd say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.